Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News at 6.
He gave his life to help others. That's what a Southern Kentucky family is telling us about a man who died in a violent attack in July of 2017. Cody Hall was charged with killing Scott Holbrook and severely injuring 2 women in a gun, machete, and hammer attack in Pulaski County. Today, Hall admitted to murder and other charges. WYMT's Phil Pendleton tells us how the victim's family wants Holbrook's legacy to live on.
Cody Hall was to face a jury trial in the coming days, but that's not needed now.
Guilty.
Pleading guilty to all those charges because you are in fact guilty of all those charges.
Yeah.
Hall admitted to killing Scott Holbrook and attacking Wilma Heislope and his sister Ashley Coots with a machete and a hammer.
I know we got to forgive him before we can be forgiven. It's too hard. I can't do it right away.
His family says Holbrook was shot and killed while trying to help the 2 women. They say helping others is something he did often.
You never knew who you was going to bring home to the house next. Mom, they're hungry. Mom, they need some clothes.
They say Holbrook talked about opening a halfway house called Broken Halos, and now they want to continue his dream.
Good Lord allows us, that will be his legacy, and that will come true.
The prosecution is recommending that Hall receive 23 years on all the charges. In Pulaski County, Phil Pendleton, WYMT Mountain News.
The judge set a final sentencing date for June 6 in Pulaski Circuit Court.
Well, it was a gorgeous and sunny and even a warm day here in the mountains. Hopefully you got out and enjoyed it. And if you haven't, well, I recommend doing so because we're going to see some big changes as we head into the end of the work week. You'll notice as we take a look at a few of those cameras, that sunshine continuing as we look out the front porch here at the WYMT studio and along US 119, US 23 in Jenkins. You're seeing very dry conditions over there, and sunshine has been shining over there for quite some time. Satellite and radar shows all of Eastern Kentucky that's been getting in on the sunshine today. We've seen those rain chances remain to the south and to the east. Few clouds creeping back into the forecast, but that'll really increase as we head into the overnight hours into those early Thursday morning hours. Now temperatures, they're into those low to mid 80s across the area, so definitely feeling very warm outside. Usually we're in those lower 70s for this time of year, so we're averaging about 10 degrees above that average. So as we head throughout the overnight hours, we'll continue to see those clouds start to increase just a little bit. Those clouds will actually act like a thermal blanket, keeping us pretty warm. Temperatures really only dropping into about those mid 60s, but by the time we get to the morning hours, you'll see a little bit of sunshine, but those clouds really increasing ahead of the next cold front that'll move in. And like I said, 73 is usually the average high for this time of year. We'll be closer to that as we head into Friday, and then a little bit cooler heading into the weekend due to the rain moving into the mountains. We'll have that full forecast coming up in just a little bit. Steve.
All right, thank you, Paige. It's been a little more than 2 weeks since a fire in Harlan County that took the lives of 3 people. A pair of 3-year-old twins died in that fire. Their mother, Allison, died days later. But tonight, the mother of Allison and the grandmother of the twins sat down with their Connor James to thank the community who supported her and reflect on Allison's life. He joins us now from the newsroom with more. Connor?
Steve, it's never really easy to talk about loss, especially in the sheer scale that it happened in that Monday morning in the Tots community. But despite losing her grandchildren and her daughter, Allison Howard's mother, Vicki Blakely, sat down with us to talk about the impact this county has had on her. They've raised tens of thousands of dollars for her to cover funeral expenses and sent kind messages. She says not having Allison and the twins around is incredibly tough, but the support from this region has helped so much.
She did make the ultimate sacrifice. She gave her life to try to find her children. And what more could a mother do? And so we love her and we'll miss her, and it's going to be a hard Mother's Day, but we'll get through.
Steve, now Vicki also wanted to make sure she knew how much she appreciated the Tots community. Chad and Allison's neighbors' quick work gave Allison a fighting chance and definitely helped Chad.
Well, Connor, speaking of Chad, do we know any more tonight about how he is doing?
Yeah, and talking with Vicky, she said when she last visited him, although he couldn't see, he was aware of his surroundings when he was awake, even nodding yes and no to a few questions. He certainly has a very rough road ahead, but the family is just asking that people keep them in their thoughts and prayers.
All right, Connor, I know you'll have more from this interview tonight at 11. Thank you very much. Well, new at 6, one person died in a Pulaski County motorcycle crash. It happened earlier this afternoon on Jacksboro Street in Somerset. At last check, the road was still shut down between Farmer Street and Sherman Avenue. Officials say the rider was not wearing a helmet when they hit a utility pole. Their identity has not yet been released. A Laurel County landlord is behind bars after deputies say she stole her tenant's property. This is 34-year-old Sandra Lovins. She's accused of stealing more than $15,000 worth of property from her tenant. Deputies say she took the tenant's belongings after rent was past due. Lovins now faces multiple charges. She was taken to the Laurel County Detention Center. Floyd County Emergency Management Services ran through a mock disaster this morning, giving emergency management teams a hands-on simulation of a tornado drill. Last year, the National Weather Service plotted the most likely course for a potential tornado in Floyd County to map the best plan of response for the community. This morning's mock disaster used that information to help emergency crews discover possible issues that could come into play in the event of an actual tornado. Representatives say this is an important part of correcting any underlying problems.
Or we all get together, everybody discusses what went right, what went wrong, what we should have done different, what we should have done better, and how we can change things so when it really happens, we handle it better.
Fields said the department will now begin planning for its next event so the emergency response teams can continue to learn and grow. 2 big trees fell in Floyd County, blocking a roadway this morning. A portion of Kentucky 1750 near Whitaker Church was closed early this morning while crew members from the Transportation Department removed 2 large trees, which they referred to as monster trees. The removal efforts blocked traffic until around noon. The road has since been open to traffic again, but cleanup crews may still be on site, and officials say drivers should use caution in that area. Governor Matt Bevin says he's waiting for more support for his pension bill before calling a special session. Earlier this week, the governor's team met with Democratic lawmakers to go over the proposal. They met with Republicans last week. The governor sent a letter to lawmakers today hoping to build more support. He says he wants this new bill to pass before a spike in pension costs takes effect for quasi-government agencies. If you are a regular on Facebook, you've surely noticed advertisements in your feed that are strangely just what you've been looking for. A Somerset marketing professional sat down with Miranda Combs to explain how advertisers aren't spying on you online. Most websites have Facebook Pixel that allows them to track your every search. So if you're looking at a pair of shoes, for example, one day, there's a great chance you'll see that same pair of shoes being advertised in your Facebook feed.
Not only are they tracking what you're searching, they know what you're buying. Facebook knows what you're buying. They know what purchases you've made. They know what your interests are. They know all of your browsing history, all your browsing data, because anytime you leave another website and it's got a pixel on that, they're recording that information.
Tonight at 11, there's a bigger tracker than Facebook. Find out who really knows your every move. A reward is out for anyone who can locate a missing door stolen from a small Pikeville business yesterday afternoon. Owners tell WYMT's Taylor Upchurch the door, priced at $550, could have potentially been worth nearly $2,000.
Open to the public and an alleged thief.
Who steals a door? I mean...
Owners of US 23 Peddlers Exchange say surveillance video shows a man in what appears to be a blue F-150
into the back of his truck, which he did not pay for,
hauling their vendor's pricey white door into his truck bed.
But the way that he was angled and the way that he backed up and everything, he was trying to, I guess, be sneaky.
In broad daylight, a theft like this may seem impossible, but this guy had his plan all worked out. Workers say he created a distraction by negotiating prices, making his interest in purchasing a door believable.
Some prices are set, but some prices, you know, they're so good about working with people if they need something.
What was once meant for easier access to vendors' larger items must now remain only as closed garage doors.
Now we have to. I mean, we have to close those doors.
The owners say it's one thing to ask for a price deduction, but to just take something not belonging to you.
That could have been a power bill. That could have been a car payment or anything like that. So it's just kind of pathetic.
Here at Peddler's Exchange, it becomes stealing from your neighbor. In Pike County, Taylor Upchurch, WYMT Mountain News.
Now that door is white with arch windows. Workers say the thief was last seen wearing a gray t-shirt and camouflage shorts heading southbound on US 23. If you have any information, you should call Kentucky State Police in Pikeville.
And showers and storms increase as we head into tomorrow due to that cold front coming in. Bad news is it looks like it continues into the weekend. I promise sunshine returns, and I'll have more of those details coming up in just a few short minutes.
And next, staff at Cumberland Gap National Historical Park brought down some trees today, but part of that process also included protecting one specific animal.